Hi, ladies. My name's Maria McGrath. I just want to get on here really quickly and welcome you to this Facebook group, Childless Not by Choice, moving forward. I created this group because I want to help women who are struggling in the same way that I was. A little bit about me. I am 47, just for another couple of months, almost 48. And I am single and I am childless. I have never had the good fortune of having children or even being pregnant. So for a lot of my life, for a huge part of my life, I was living in deep, deep, deep sadness and grief because having children was the only thing that I ever wanted. And it was coming from a huge family. Mum had 11 siblings. I was one of 5. It was something that I always just assumed would happen. It was the only thing that I wanted. I never chose to have a career because getting married and having kids was what I was going to do. So just briefly, so I had a massive, massive grief and loss and sadness and this hole in my heart that it led me into a deep pit of despair, and I stayed there for a long time, a very long time. I struggled in so many different ways, and I had envy and jealousy, and I was triggered by everybody else, falling pregnant and having kids, and my brothers and sisters all younger than me having kids, and then my nieces and nephews, and the other cousins and everything else that were having children, and I pushed everyone away. I cut myself off. I had too much anger and resentment and jealousy and envy and all those kind of things to really enjoy life at all, to enjoy other people's happiness. It was really, really hard. And I know there are a lot of women who are struggling in the same way that I am. And that was why I created this group just recently. Now, I have been working with women for the past 5 years with depression and sadness and grief and all sorts of other emotions as well. But I really, after writing my story for a book that I'm going to be published in the next couple of days, while I was writing that story, it was then that I really decided that I needed to help in this specific space. I needed to specialise in this specific space because it's really close to my heart. So when I turned 40, I found, and I say that loosely because actually it found me, I found a tool, a therapy that worked to heal my heart and soul. It literally switched my light back on because it was almost extinguished. I have to say, I was existing, I was breathing, and that was about this sum of it. I didn't want to. I would think every day, God, just let me have a heart attack, just let me fall asleep and just not wake up. I just don't want to be here. I can't do it. My mind, I just can't handle it anymore. I can't do this. I'm worthless. What's the point of being here when I have all of this venom that's just spewing out of me? I have nothing to give to anyone. That was, the sort of the feeling that I was feeling. And then all of a sudden, it was literally that fast. I went away for 3 days to it was actually a group breakthrough, and it was 3 days, and my light was back on. And it's not to say that all of those emotions were released, but enough to turn my light back on. And with a personal breakthrough, which is what I do one-on-one, I help women identify all of those emotions that are happening, because right now, for a lot of us, when we go to traditional therapies or modalities and personal development stuff, they're dealing with things on a whole. It's this big, it's depression, that's what you've got, boom, that's you're in a box. but what I do is I help to work out all of those. You know, it could be a list of 20, 50, 100, and then it's releasing them one at a time. Okay, so grief, loneliness, feeling broken, feeling lost, hurt, anger, resentment, regret, envy, jealousy. You know, these were all things that I had. You know, and feeling like, what's wrong with me? Or why me? Why is this happening to me? Why can everybody else have what I want and I can't? You know, all of these things, these emotions, these beliefs, they run around in our head and literally drive us completely insane. And this is just helping you to tap into your own deep wisdom, okay? This is completely holistic, this tool that I work with that helps women get the answers they need to help them heal. Okay, so I guess, you know, why would you want to listen to me? One, I've been there. I was there, and my emotions, all of the ones that I had, and there was hundreds, may be different to yours, and even the way that we experience things is going to be completely different. And this is what I've done over the past 7 years, and I was doing a lot of personal development before this. I did a lot of therapy, a lot of counselling, coaching, all sorts of shit that didn't work. Nothing worked before I found this. But I needed to release a heap of baggage before I could actually really learn anything or have it come in and stick. But after that, you know, I've done a lot of work, a lot of education in the area of our femaleness. You know, we're different. Our brains and our hormones, our bodies, our running system, our programs, all of this stuff that's going on, you know, we are uniquely female. And all of the tools and processes and modalities and everything else, they've been innovated by the male brain, and they just don't get us. It's not saying that they don't want to help, because they do. They wouldn't be creating stuff if they didn't want to help. They just don't understand those intricate differences that we have. And that is why there are so many women, and it's not just women without children, it is women of all sorts that are struggling in emotional ways. But I'm concentrating on the childless, although I do have, and if you want to find out more about me, because this group's only been here for a couple of weeks, I have a group called Breakthrough to the Real You, and I have a business page called Restore Balance and Harmony. Now there's 5 years worth of information on that, content and videos and blogs and all sorts of things on there. If you wanted to go back and look through, I think there's 80 or 90 or some recorded videos, so there'd be some lives in there as well. So I want you to know that I have been doing this for quite a while. I've helped women in a lot of different areas, releasing their emotional baggage, and I'll show you a couple of photos here in a minute, if I can remember how to share my screen as well. But I wanted to share with you, you know, why me? Why am I different? Why am I on here? Why join this group? So that's me. I'm a women's creatrix transformologist. I am a licensed, and this seal here is the official authorised logo that says that I am licensed with the Institute of Women International. Now, Global Transformatrix is the company that has all of the training companies in it. The Institute of Women International is the training facility for women in the process that I use, which is called Creatrix. And that is the innovator there that you can see on the screen. It's Mads. Her name is Mads Sharma. Now, she has innovated something specific for the female mind. Okay, it is self-development and psychology revolutionised. There is no other way to say it. This is so revolutionary. It's so innovative. It is so amazing. And you know what? I know a lot of people may say, it sounds too good to be true. Okay, and yes, you know, to have fast and complete holistic results probably is really hard to believe, you know, but there are so many things in this world that were also too good to be true. Go the light switch, for instance, you know, power, the internet, You know, having a tiny little phone that you can talk, you can see someone on the other side of the world, no lag time, in an instant. You know, these were all things that were too good to be true. You know, and I've just been reading about what's coming in the future, artificial intelligence, the driverless cars, and all sorts of things we can't even imagine are actually here right now. So this is revolutionary, and it will be the number one. It won't be too long at all. This will be the number one psychology for women. Now, this is me. Now, I just wanted to show you, because we're visual. We can see things with our own eyes, and we want to know how things change. And this is so completely showing you, this is when I started my training. It wasn't 7 years ago, it was 5 years ago when I started my training to become a transformologist. I don't want this video to go for too long, but this was me. This was me, and then that is me without my emotional baggage. Okay, going from grief and sadness and loneliness, despair, anger. I felt like I was in a black pit of despair. That was what it felt like. And there was no light. There was no way that I could climb out. That's how I felt. That I was just going to be stuck there forever, and I couldn't climb out. But this brought me back to life, and it gave me peace and joy and contentment that I can't even explain how that feels to have peace. Something you really need to feel, but it is amazing. And I worked on a lot of other emotions other than that grief and sadness and loss and those kind of things. You know, I worked on this, you know, lack of self-worth and lack of confidence and hating myself, feeling like I wasn't good enough, and all of these other things as well. And you know what? I am still working on myself today. I continue, because life is an ever evolving thing, that there is always changes. So to tell you a bit about me, and what I've accomplished in the last 5 years, to know that I'm, you know, not just somebody, a nobody. I was here. I am on the front cover of an Australian women's empowerment magazine, and Shah Moore up there in the corner is the writer and CEO of YMAG. And yeah, I went to one of the conferences 12 months later, and I was a speaker at the conference there. I had an actual 2-page spread in that magazine as well as being on the cover. Right now, I'm a contributing writer for an international online magazine called Sabella Publications, which is all about for women by women. Okay, women writing their stories, their journey, their experiences, their story, and sharing that with other women to help lift. You know, which is what we want to do. We want to lift and grow and help and expand women and make life better. Okay, and right now, it's literally in the next 5 days, I will become a published author, and this is in a new book, The New Rules of Health. So there are 15 professional health professionals. So coaches, there's some psychologists, there's myself, I think there's even a pharmacist, all sorts of women in there from different areas all over the world. So, you know, I have a fair amount of experience in this industry now, and it is my absolute passion to help women live their best life, to let go of the pain in their mind and in their heart that is holding them back from living their best life. You know, I know what that feels like, and I want to help others get better. So, you know, this is just a slide about Creatrix, but basically that's all I wanted to share there. I just wanted to show you a little bit about me, so you know that I have some knowledge, I have training, I have licenses in this area, and I want you to know that it really, really is. It is my purpose and passion to help other women. So welcome to this group. If you'd like to comment and tell a little bit about yourself, your journey, let me know, what are your biggest struggles? Where are you right now? I know everyone's going to be similar but different, and it's going, I want to get a bit more in depth, I guess, instead of just saying, well, I'm childless. Is it grief? Is it sadness? Is it all of the above? It could be any one of 1,000 things. Is it that it's Christmas and this is your worst time of the year? Is it that it's something that's so new, or is it that you have been struggling for 10 years and you're sick to death of feeling that way? Tell me what's going on for you so I can start to create content that is relevant to you. I want to do, some information, some education, helping you to get to a better place where the pain and the anguish and the sadness and the grief isn't so much an issue, okay? But if you want that release, you want really, really ready, obviously you can contact me, PM me at any time in this group. But there are places, there's videos in here that I've recorded. There's a webinar, 5 steps to getting to that breakthrough. If that's where you are and you're ready for that major change in your life, obviously reach out to me at any time. This is what I'm here for. But I do want women to know that there is a place where, other than just telling our stories, we can actually make some moves to get some forward movement, okay, to releasing, to working out how to move forward, how to feel better, how to get past, and not just be dealing with it, struggling. I hear women all the time say, I'm dealing, I'm coping, I'm managing. To me, and I wasn't doing any of those. Trust me, before I found Creatrix, I wasn't doing any of those. So that is amazing if you're there. But now where I am, it sounds like hard work, and it really doesn't have to be. And I know, I said to myself 1,000 times, and probably 100,000, nothing more than giving birth to a child would heal my heart. But I found that wasn't true. That was a belief that I had. And I was able to move past that and actually let it go, so I can be here and live and have peace and have joy and have happiness and be able to celebrate the lives of all the kids that are around me. I actually can and do walk up to kids in the supermarket, kids that I don't know, mothers that I don't know, and say, oh, what a beautiful baby, and have a little ooh and ah and have a bit of a chat and a little smile, and they always smile, and it gives me great joy. I do not feel sadness when I see babies, and I want that for other women, because if we're living stuck in a place where it's all that pain, and trust me, I know, I was there, we can't find joy in anything. Walking down the street and saying hi to somebody, anybody, doesn't bring us joy. Watching the biggest comedy club thing on the TV, I felt no joy. Maybe I fake laughed, but there was a time of a decade when I never felt that laughter inside of me reverberate, feel it touch me like I do now when I laugh at the silliest things. I have nieces and nephews, and I can give them all of me with no sadness, no resentment, no hurt, just pure and utter joy for them being in my life. And they give it back, and it comes in tenfold. I want that for you. If you want that for you as well, I am here. This is why I've created this group, and I hope that you go through and you look at this, and then you look at some of the other stuff and stick around. I'm really going to try and get some really good content going in here. But feel free to reach out, even if you just want to have a chat. find out more. So I'll leave it for there. I have no idea how much I've talked, but I do tend to rattle on a lot. But I want you to know that that's possible for you too. So thank you for joining, and I hope you stick around. Bye for now.